Sometimes I don't play games to, well, play. I play them to be at another place. It's not like I don't like my here and now, it's just that there are places that inhabit video games that are so gorgeous and meaningful that I need to revisit them from time to time, especially when I need to relax a bit. So I thought to myself, why not tell you guys about them and, to make it a bit more interesting, rank them in a top 10 list. So here we go. Let me start out by cheating a bit already. Number 10 isn't a place, but rather a moment in Mirror's Edge, specifically the beginning. After replaying it a while back, I realized that the game wasn't really the kind of parkour-heavy, semi-open level fun that I remembered it being. There was too much shooting involved and police were everywhere. Anyways, this is not a review, and I cannot forget, I can't stop being amazed by the intro. The way the city is shown, how the intro credits are flying through the world, Faith at the, well, edge, and all of it accompanied by the beautifully slow and calm score by Solar Fields. It is just... see for yourselves. I've always wanted to go to the US. I think it is, geographically at least, one of the most beautiful countries on Earth. And if I did, the mountain states like Montana, for example, would be high up on the list of places I'd want to go or maybe even stay. With its mix of mountains, prairie and badlands, it is the perfect setting for a video game such as Far Cry 5. The game is based in the fictional area of Hope County, and while it's not that big on the Badlands side of things, its fields, forests, rivers and mountains are filled with an immeasurably huge amount of gorgeous design. And while art style and direction are more important than realistic graphics, they nonetheless are the golden cherry on top of this gorgeous video game graphics pie. Personally, I'm originally from a very flat part of Germany, close to the Dutch border, and now live in a, well, a bit more mountainous area. So, in a way, I feel right at home in the vast fields and near the rushing rivers of Hope County with far-reaching mountains in the distance. The country-esque music is definitely not something found near my hometown on the other side of the Atlantic, but it adds so much flair to the atmosphere, it is crazy. And especially when the sun is a bit lower, closer to the ground, the land bathed in warm light, I feel a comfort and quiet in this world that I don't feel in many others. And if I had to pinpoint one exact location, it would be this one. The Silver Lake Boathouse is so simple. A red wooden structure placed in a small bay of a bigger river. Another small shed nearby, a lookout tower atop the adjacent hill, and that's it. It is enough, calm, it has nature, it is perfect. It reminds me of days and nights spent at our local lake with my friends during our late teenage years, and there are few memories I cherish more than those. As I said in my Horizon video quite a while back, Zero Dawn rekindled my love for single-player games. Not that I gave up on them or anything, but I just wasn't in the mood for anything in particular. I couldn't find the motivation to start something new. And then, well, Horizon came along. The setting was so refreshingly creative, clashing two highly contrasting worlds on times of human development, set in an apocalyptic version of the United States. And oh boy, do I love myself some post-apocalyptic worlds. The game starts out in The Embrace, which has quite a few in-game versions of real-life Colorado landmarks. And while having just talked about another mountain state in Far Cry 5, and even more areas around the same region are coming up later, it is actually Devil's Grief, or Denver, that I enjoy most. Yes, I know, I just talked about not necessarily being that much into realistic or over-the-top graphics, but look at this. It looks unbelievably good. The way nature has completely overtaken the area, taken back what's hers, and filled the area with, let's say, its newest creations is stunning. It is hard to make a place that was built by us humans, for us humans, look like we are the last thing wanted there. But Guerrilla Games absolutely nailed it. And while I am one of those unwanted humans as well, I like to take Aloy on a stroll through the streets and ravines of New Denver, climb a few buildings, and dream of the times past and the stories long lost. Minecraft is a game that can be played in many different ways. You can do PvP, you can do PvE, you can do creative, you can do anything you want. And to me, Minecraft has always been about relaxation. You know, you have your little house, you have your fields and your farm, and there are some mobs, yeah, and you have to survive for a while, yeah, sure, but overall it's just very relaxing stuff. So when I started another 2 weeks of Minecraft phase with one of my friends, we quickly devolved into exactly that. We sat around the TeamSpeak or Discord doing what we do best. Simple mining, fishing, or just building fun stuff. So if I had to pick a favorite place in Minecraft, I would have to cheat again, just as I did with Mirror's Edge, because there isn't one favorite place in this game of randomly generated endless worlds, but it is the places where I sit with my friends, the places I build with my friends, the places I share with my friends. And most recently, it has been this place. I have been playing this series of games for, I don't know, at least 20 years, probably more like 22 or 23. And again, like with Minecraft, it is not a specific place, but rather more of an area of several intertwining concepts and situations that winds me down, makes me feel grounded. And that's the northern islands of the map. I assume their visual similarity with where I'm at right now, taking place in Europe and all, are quite helpful in getting me to like this place. The music is often slightly melancholic, but usually whimsical. The characters are cutely, cartoonishly overdrawn, and the graphics have a slight comic, hand-drawn vibe to it that is so perfectly in balance with all the other parts of the game that Anno 1404, or Dawn of Discovery, is still my favorite Anno of all time. So every time I boot it back up, and even if it's just for an hour or two, I lose myself in this gorgeous little world, just as I did in 2009 on my poor little laptop. I was quite excited when Rockstar announced the RDR1 port for PC, and I have to say, I have been quite impressed by it. I vowed to finish RDR1 before starting another playthrough of RDR2, so I didn't rush through it. The game is far too good to be desecrated by rushing-induced indifference, but let's say I really wanted to finish it. So I played mission after mission until it was time to go to Mexico. After an annoyingly long ferry ride, I got on my horse and rode into the country. And there it was, opening up on my right side, underlaid by a gorgeous song, Diez Coronas, opened up. I stood still, in game and in real life, taking in the beauty of the situation, the colors, the design, the ambience, everything. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, this is a Rockstar title. I found and find myself coming back to this place, just taking in the view and letting the Pinkertons, the old gang and John's worries be insignificant, if only for a while. Since then, the Mexico part of the story has dragged on quite a bit, and I'm glad to be back in the north. I just feel a stronger connection to this part of the world. But this one moment, this one short-lived experience on a random Saturday night was a strong reminder why I really, really love Rockstar's worlds. Let me introduce you guys to the Fuzzy crew. These 4 rascals, consisting of, well, yours truly, 2 of my real-life friends and my then-girlfriend, unrelentingly wreaked havoc on the world of GTA 5 online for hundreds of hours. Back then, the scale of the game was smaller. Cars and property, well, no, basically everything, wasn't as expensive, there weren't any space lasers, casinos, mobile weapon forges or whatever, and at the risk of sounding like a GTA boomer, those were better times. We worked out tightly knit schedules of importing and exporting cars to maximize our profits, had designated roles for everyone and, most importantly, enjoyed each other's company very much. And while, yes, obviously, Los Santos is gorgeously designed, looks amazing, still to this day, is alive and full of surprises, it is these memories of being together as friends that are so ingrained in this world that I think it's not the world itself that is so calming to me. I mean, we are still talking about GTA, but it's all that came with it. And I think the best part was always just driving down San Andreas' roads, vibing to the music, and being friendly dickheads to each other that I enjoyed most. I think there hasn't been a game that has shaken me as thoroughly as Red Dead Redemption 2. Finishing this story, the main story, has vehemently changed me. Therefore, revisiting it just to vibe, to sit around in it and soak in its glory, is always met with a very heavy undertone of melancholy. Still, just being in this world, moving around by foot or horse, especially far away from civilization, is a feeling of bliss and calmness that makes me wonder if I'm actually not better suited to live in a hut somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. But if I had to narrow it down, I would probably choose this place. Twin Stack Pass isn't necessarily very pretty or significant overall, but it is a place that sells RDR2's world to me. It is based on Mitchell Pass in the Scott Bluff Monument National Park site in Nebraska, and just as in the pictures, it has clean, white lighting, bright stone, grassy plains, and a shining blue sky. It just exists as if it had always been there. People pass through, meet on top and in between the stones, and Arthur comes along there quite often during the times the gang is based at Horseshoe Overlook. Maybe it's the better times I think of when I ride over there, the times at Horseshoe that make these big, dumb boulders my favorite place in RDR2. Many years back, a friend of mine told me to try Forza Horizon 3. At first I didn't want to, because I thought that I would dislike the game's structure and handling. After some patient waiting and haggling on his part, I finally gave it a shot. And I am actually very thankful for this, because without it I would never have played the gorgeous game that is Forza Horizon 4. I'm gonna make this quick, because this is just another there's no specific place, the whole game is a vibe thing. I love looking at the British countryside, I love looking at pretty cars, I love driving around, hot off, taking in the gorgeous graphics, winding roads, and listening to Odessa's A Moment Apart. Whenever I want to shut my brain off and have pure bliss rain onto me, Forza Horizon 4 is there. And I love it for that. I am not sure where to begin. If you are a recurring viewer of mine, you might have heard of my obsession with The Witcher 3. It is my all-time, no questions asked, favorite game, favorite piece of media, favorite thought to occupy my mind with. It was obvious to me that it would be in first place, but what wasn't, and still kinda isn't obvious, is where. Where in god-forsaken Velen, tumultuous Novigrad, windy Skellige, or brittle old Kaer Morhen is my one spot, my favorite spot in this game. Kaer Morhen, whose music is God, it touches me so deeply. It would be an obvious choice, as right in front of that bridge was where I placed Geralt at the end of my perfect 100% playthrough back then. Or maybe it's Toussaint with its warm lighting, Corvo Bianco as Geralt's final home, a desperately needed rest from all the struggles the continent was throwing at us, but no. There is, when I really need to calm down, when I really need to feel safe and unbothered by the troubles of our world, a place where I always go, things I always do, and one song that always plays. I travel to Caer Trolldus Harbor and call Roach. I mount her and slowly ride up the curvy path, passing the guards who throw their little quips at my head. The synth booms in my headphones as Roach's hooves trample on the ground. And when you pass that specific spot, the music changes and the most beautiful place in all of the video game worlds I ever visited stretches out in front of me. The island of Ard Skellig.